there's another way to get output in TI Basic. If you're using the calculator, and you don't know where to find things, click if you're coding on your calculator or not on your computer, click second and then click catalog. And catalog will list everything. And so what I'm going to show you is it's display. It's called disk. If I click alpha D alpha D, it's going to bring me down to everything that starts with D. And so it'd be pretty quick to find. And that's it right there. I just passed it, but that was it. DISP. So that's how you do it if you're using your calculator. Or you could actually figure out where it is, like if I click right here, math, it's going to bring up all the math functions and stuff like that. Exit that out. And so that's how you could find find one of these commands if you don't know where they are on your calculator. Just look in the catalog. So I'm going to show you disp. Disp is outputted the text at output a y and x and then your text. So it outputted first a y and then an x and then wherever your text was. But there's another thing you can do. Disp won't reposition your cursor. Wherever your cursor is, it's going to write text there and then skip a line. So if I said something like output 1 1 hello and then output 1 1 Bob, it's going to write just Bob LO. Because first it's going to write hello at 1 1 and it's going to go back to 1 1 and write Bob. And so you're going to get Bob low. But if we actually want it to be right under, we could say disp hello and then disp Bob. And that will write it as hello, then it'll skip a line and then write Bob. So the disp will take wherever your cursor already is and write a line and write your text and then skip a line. So the first thing we're going to write is clear home, to clear the screen. And then we're going to write, now I'm going to show you variables. Variables are just like they are in math. They store a value. It's not that complicated. Kind of like if x equals 5, then x holds the value of 5. So if a math teacher says x equals 5, y equals 10. What's x plus y? You're going to say 15, right? Same thing in math. Except in most programming languages, you would say x equals 5 to make x 5, but not in TI Basic. In TI Basic, the character is right here on the calculator, right by the 1 above on. It looks like stow. That's the store key. Rather than saying x equals 5 to make x equals 5, if you're using this TI program editor, expand here and write the number 5 and double click this arrow and then write x. That's going to say 5 is stored into x. Rather than x equals 5, you write 5 stored into x. And now x holds the value of 5. If you look at your calculator again, it's this stow key right here. And as you can see, it makes the little store operators appear. So we're going to say x equals 5, and then let's say 3 stores into y. Or let's say variables are any key on your keyboard, A through Z. So that each letter is a variable. So you can store in all 26 letters on your keyboard are already a variable where you can store value. So I'm storing into x 5 and into b 3. And now what I'm going to say is disp 5 plus 3. And now let's save this. Now let's load file. Hello. I'm going to load it into my smart view. yes. And then what I'm going to do is programs, let's run it. And as you can see, it's going to say 8, and then the program's going to finish. Because 8 is, okay, because 5 plus 3 gives us 8. So if we say something like, so that I was just showing you there, you can do math in, when you display, you don't just have to display things in quotes. You can actually display equations and it'll solve them. So I'm going to show you, we're going to x plus b plus x. Okay, so x plus b plus x, that's our little equation. So that's going to be 5, 8, um, 16, or 13. So x plus b plus x, it should output 13 for us. Now it's hello. Now as you can see, it says 13, then done, because x plus b plus x all adds up to 13. So now let's say we want to make, let me show you one last thing before I end the tutorial, user input. This is also really easy. You write input and then a variable, and it's going to pause and let you type something in. And whatever you type in, that value is going to be sent to a variable. So I'm going to write disp. We're going to build a basic calculator, disp number 1, and then it's going to say input A, then disp number 2, input B, then disp answer, and then disp A plus B. Here's your basic calculator. What it says, it's kind of funny that you're making a basic calculator on a calculator, but it's kind of ironic. But calculator section. So what it's doing is saying display number 1, and it's going to write number 1 on the screen. It's going to pause and let you type something in. Whatever you type in is going to go to the variable A, and then it's going to pause and let you, it's going to say number 2 and pause until you type in something that's going to go to number B. And then it's going to write answer on the screen, and it's going to display whatever A plus B is. Now let's save this and load file right here. Yes. Then we're going to say program, execute, hello. Now it's going to say number 1, and it's going to get a little question mark, and I'm going to say 4. And then number 2. And as you can see, it's skipping lines for us after it's writing. That's what the display function, the display command does. So now we're going to write 8. So now it's going to say, whoops, it's locking up. There we go. Let me type that again. 4, 8. Now it's going to say answer 12 and done. Because it successfully let us type in 2 numbers and then it added them together for us. So that's it for this tutorial. That's just basic on variables and user input.